Finding your next product to sell on Amazon isn't as hard as you think, and in this video, I'm going to prove it. Because in the last year alone, I was able to find over 5,000 profitable products that I could sell in my Amazon business. And in this video, I'm going to give you the exact strategy that I used to find all of these products. But I obviously wasn't always able to find thousands of profitable products to sell on Amazon. So this video is going to give you all the information you need to know on what a good product to sell on Amazon looks like, how to get approved to sell big name brand products on Amazon, and then we'll also talk about the fastest way to make your first sales on Amazon using a method that a lot of people aren't thinking about. In case you're brand new to selling on Amazon, this is your quick checklist of things that you need to get first, and then we can go ahead and dive in. I'll show you how to actually find winning products, right? But the first thing you want to do is go ahead and go to sell.amazon.com. Go ahead and sign up right here. The Amazon seller account is $40 a month for the professional plan that allows you to get the buy box more easily, get ungated to sell brands, and it also saves you $1 per unit over the individual plan. So since you're watching this video, you're probably serious about changing your life with Amazon FBA. So make sure you just go ahead and sign up for that professional plan, get yourself set up nicely. The verification process with Amazon can take a couple weeks if they want to verify your address by postcard. So I'd really recommend you get this done as soon as possible if you haven't already. The next thing you're going to need to start sourcing profitable products is our tool, SellerAmp. This tool is $20 a month. You can go ahead and get a 2-week free trial. Make sure that you actually like running this business. But we'll be using this tool to find all of our winning products today. And then you also need this tool called Keepa. This one's another $20 a month. So all in, this business costs you $80 a month to run, plus whatever you're able to spend on inventory. But what Keepa allows you to do is track the history of an item, and it'll also show us a ton of data on variations. It'll show us exactly how fast products are selling and a lot more data that we'll go ahead and dive into here. But how do we figure out where to actually start finding winning items, right? That's going to start out by looking at any website that has a pretty good sale going on, especially if it's in a big name brand that sells super well online. Adidas is a classic example of a brand that sells really well. You see it all over the place. And so brands like these make opportunities for us to go ahead and sell these products on Amazon. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of this fantastic sale that's going on, because whenever websites run really good sales, the chances that we can find profitable prices on these websites go way up. And what we're going to look for here is Adidas branded products that sell well on Amazon, and we can buy for about half of what they're selling for on Amazon or less. So let's just go ahead and dive into the website here. I'll start showing you my methodology behind what I'm looking for and how we can actually find winning items here, right? So for example, today there's this really awesome sale where a lot of products are up to 40% off, and we can also go ahead and stack extra discounts on top of this 40% off, right? So for example, top cash back of those items that we're already getting on sale, we can also get another 9% of our money back through cash back. And so hopefully you can see the opportunity where prices get so much cheaper, we can get cash back. There's also another even more powerful way to get a discount that I'll show you once we find our first winning product, right? So first, let's go ahead and dive in and find that winning item. So what I want to do when I'm looking at this webpage here is typically, especially if I can filter down to everything that's on sale, we don't need to look at 4,000 items that are on sale here at Adidas. But what I do want to do is go ahead and filter by top sellers. Usually, if you're filtering by top sellers, those are probably going to also be the best selling items of that type over on Amazon. And so we're probably going to see some really good sales ranks, which is basically how Amazon tracks how fast things sell on Amazon. So let's go ahead and open up this first listing here. I see that usually this pair of shoes is $75, and today it's only $30, right? So that should make a very good opportunity for us to go in and make some profit on these shoes. So what we want to do, open up this listing here, then we can go ahead and click the SellerAmp Chrome extension. And this is going to go ahead and populate these search results as though you had just searched this term on Amazon. And now what we want to do is make sure that we've found the correct listing for our product. In this case, looks like that is the Cloud Foam 2.0. I think these are probably the 1.0. There's no specification here. So I want to open up this listing. That looks pretty similar to me with the little white dots there. And then I also want to open up this one, and I'm probably also going to open up this listing here. That's a completely different shoe. We can also go ahead and scroll down and see if there's any more. But the reason why it's a good idea to open up all the potential listings is sometimes we'll find the same color listed on multiple listings, and one might be way more expensive, way more profitable, and the other one would be a complete skip, right? So it's a really good idea to open up all potential listings that your product could be on, and then we can filter it down from there. So for example, right here, we've got this like whitish color, this blackish, and then like a pinkish one. So let's see if any of those are on here. It could be this one right there. No, it's like a little grayer. Let's see. Could be that. And I think think those are still a little bit different there. So we'll just go ahead and keep moving on here. So really what we want to look for is the specific sizes and colors that are in stock over at Adidas, the $30 ones. So as I'm looking through here, I see these very classic. The types of products that typically sell well on Amazon are going to be like the boring options, the very standard, the very plain. That's going to be what's the most popular. So for example, the classic black and white right here, that is going to sell pretty well over on Amazon just because it's the most classic type color, right? So I'm going to check through here and see if we can find that like black and white version. And it seems like this is it right here. So perfect. This is a 10K bestsellers rank, which is pretty good. That means it is the 10,000th best selling shoe item in that category. And so there's probably going to be some potential for us to go in here and make some money. So we got a decent amount of these sizes in stock here. And this is where our other product research tool, Keepa, is going to come into play. Because what we want to do here is go down to variations. And I only want to specifically look for this color. A lot of the other colors on this listing over here were out of stock. We got a bunch of the colors of this like very classic black and white that are actually in stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that color name. And then I'm going to go down here to variations, and over on color, I'm going to just go ahead and paste that. And then bang, we can see all of the listings that are in that particular color. And I also want to go ahead and filter this by highest new current price. So right now, all of these shoes right here are like 75 bucks, 75, right around there. So let's see if we can make any money selling these. So size 11 first on the list, it's out of stock. Size 9.5 right there in the women's. And we actually do have this one in stock. And then over here on Adidas, we actually do have the 9.5s in stock, but definitely we'll look closer into those. Let's see, 7.5s are gone. That's okay. 9, 10, 8.5. See if we got any of those. So we do have the 10s as well. I think the 8.5s are gone. And then it's like smaller sizes from there. I'm just going to pop that open right there. The 10s. We've also got 5s and 7s, which are both in stock as well. So let's do a little bit of a deep dive here and see if we can figure out if this is actually selling. Because it's honestly a weird keep a chart example to start with. Basically, I think what's happened here is like this particular size got split onto its own listing and now it's back on a much better listing. So honestly, I'd expect this product to start selling even faster than it already was. But the way we can figure out how fast it does sell is using the data offers tab of Keepa down here. We can see the exact stock count and price of all the sellers on the listing over time. And for example, something like this, we can see this shoe sensation store right here. We can see them very naturally making a couple sales every day or so. Let's see. For example, like March 26th, they had 256 of them in stock. And then basically a month later, they were down to 225. So this number is fairly accurate in this case. They did about 30 sales in the last month. We could also see if there's any sellers who are selling a bunch in the like history of the item. So I'll filter by sold right there. And we can see a couple different sellers. He sold pretty quick. So 5432 right there. This seller's going 321. So it doesn't seem like it was the most popular item for whatever reason. There hasn't been a ton of sellers on this listing, but it does actually sell. And based on a lot of this test data here, I'd probably go ahead and order about 10 units of this, especially considering when we plug that in here, we're buying them for 30. The current price is $75, which is a massive profit. Our worst case scenario here, we're selling them for, it seems, $50 to $55 based on the past. So that it would be a 29% ROI. And I think this is going to be a fantastic example of where to show you how to boost your margins even further. And that's going to be by using discounted gift cards, right? So we can use a site called Cardbear. In this case, we can look up Adidas as well, right? And it's going to show us all of the other potential places where we might be able to go and buy a discounted gift card. In this example, I know it's telling us to wait here, like the average discount's usually way higher. It's honestly super low for Adidas, but it looks like there's probably a good amount of people taking advantage of this sale, buying tons of profitable items over here. But we can still look at like Card Cash, or I really like to look at Raise as well. And when we go over here to Raise, we can see that we can just go ahead and instantly buy a 5% back gift card from Raise on this pair of shoes right here. If we want to go ahead and buy 10 pairs of these 9.5s right here, it's going to cost us 300 bucks. So I would go over here to Raise and then buy, I think 250 is the biggest gift card they do. Yeah. So 250 bucks, you can buy a couple of those gift cards at that size, and instantly you're making $12.50 in extra profit on this item, which basically is a 5% discount, right? So if we go back over to this item where typically I want to see a 35% ROI, seems to be a pretty decently fast selling item. But with that extra 5% that we just made ourselves with the discounted gift card, now our ROI meets the standards that we want to look for. Profits over 10 bucks, which is also great. And so now this is definitely an item that I would definitely say buy at least 5 or 10 units of this type of product. So let's go ahead and keep diving through some of these listings, see how much profitable product we can find. And I'm also still going to be breaking down how to actually get the approval to sell these brands on Amazon and how to make your first sales as soon as possible. So we can do the same process with these other listings right here. So the size 10 we also had in stock, but this one I think is an example of something I would probably pass on. The last one was worth taking a shot on. This one we can see using Keepa right here. We can see the past history of this item, and usually Amazon themselves sell this product. The price is anywhere from like 38 bucks, 50 bucks. So our worst case scenario on this item is much, much worse than that last item, where like our worst case scenario scenario is selling for 50 bucks. We still make a little bit of money. Our worst case scenario here is that Amazon comes back and the price is down to $32 or $35. And we're definitely not in the business of losing almost $10 per unit. So that would be something I'd probably pass on. Here we got the size 5s. Size 5 is obviously not going to be the fastest seller in the world, but we can validate if it does or doesn't sell, again, using that data offers tab here. And when we filter by sold 30 days, I'm seeing basically nothing. When I filter on the sold chart, I can see this seller that's had one unit for quite a while. Possible that they could be hiding their stock here, but just based on the fact that it is a very unpopular size, the size 5, nothing really showing there, I'd probably pass on that as well. So hopefully you can see like what a good Keepa offers chart looks like compared to bad ones where we got this, see lots of sales happening over time. There's more people, stock count decreasing. That last one we saw basically nothing. So size 7s, let's check these out. These are like $50 is our worst case scenario. Amazon sold on these for a little bit, but really not too much to worry about. So I think these might be worth taking a shot on if we can see that they sell. And so again, we'll go include historical. We will sort by sold 30 days. And this is another good example too, I think actually, where we can see lots of nice natural sales happen. And we can see other sellers making a couple sales here as FBA sellers. And we can also see that if we want to charge $60 as our price, we have proof right here that we could at least sell 2 units of this product. Ideally, we'd sell a lot more than 2. This guy was only in stock for what, like a week or 2? So probably if you stock up, you buy 10, you buy 15 to 20, you're in stock for a while. And we have proof that people actually want to pay $60 a unit for this item because this seller's stock count went away as their price was $60 right there on the price history graph. So this could be worth maybe a smaller order than this 9.5 right here. And so there's 2 good examples of profitable products that we could find. And over on Adidas, that was the very first product that we opened up too, right? So I'm sure if we do that exact same process, we'll find a ton more winning products. But this sourcing method I just showed you is called manual sourcing. And it's how we found a good amount of those over 5,000 products that we found. But I also want to show you the other sourcing method. And this one might be even more beginner friendly for you to go out and start finding products. So when we're finding products, we're either looking directly at the website or we're using SellerAmp right down here. And so since we know that we already found this particular product profitably over at the Adidas website, we know that there's going to be other profitable Adidas products in the storefronts of the sellers who are selling this product, right? So somebody else has already done the research of noticing that this product is profitable. So if we want to find even more profitable products based on this one single example, you can do the exact same thing. Start from this example here, start from any of the other examples on product sourcing videos on my channel, and we can look at the other sellers on this graph, right? So down here on the offers chart of SellerAmp, we just want to open one of these offers here. Usually I like to look for a seller with a couple hundred feedback. This seller is going to be a pretty good size seller here. So I bet they're going to have a lot of items for us to look at. This is even more effective when you can look at small sellers, but this is still a good example. We can filter down to Adidas. If we click any of these brands, we're only going to see that brand that we clicked on. And since we know that Adidas has a really good sale today, it's probably smart for us to just focus on looking at the Adidas products that they've found. And now that we know where they're probably buying some of their cheap inventory from, it's a game of asking ourselves, do I think I can buy this item for the max cost listed for me to hit my ideal ROI? So this number for me is calculating the price that I want to buy it for us to make 35% ROI or a $3 profit. Both of those things are going to need to be true there. And so as I'm looking through here, I'm having a quick mental conversation with myself. Do I think I can buy it for this max cost? So a lot of these probably can't buy socks for 34 cents, probably can't buy a bag for $1.27. Maybe I can get these for 31 bucks. So we could go ahead and Google this and then open up the Amazon page using those buttons there. So right here, this is probably going to take us straight to that Adidas listing. And then over on Amazon, we want to see, yeah, so these are 60 bucks. A lot of times Amazon is on these. So we'd want to really find a solid deal. Honestly, just because Amazon's on these so much, it's probably not worth looking into super deeply. The reason why and how we can tell Amazon is on it is on the Keepa chart. When I'm looking at it, I can see it's like solid orange. And then I can also use SellerAmp down here. I can go down to the buy box statistics. And this shows me over the last 90 days, Amazon has hogged about 92% of the sales on this listing. I'm not really interested in fighting for my 8% of the sales on a listing. So you can honestly probably just go ahead and clicking through this seller storefront here. So I would really love to find something that Amazon is not on. So we can see all of the Keepa charts over here is showing me which products Amazon is already selling. And for whatever reason, this seller loves competing with Amazon. And I'm seeing a ton of that going on here. So for example, on this list here, I'm seeing this item right here. I can see there's not a ton of that orange highlighting where Amazon's not on the listing a bunch. So I want to open up like the Adidas page right here. We can see these are $42 over at Adidas for these, the Light Racer 5.0. I can also see here's the listing that we found just based on this storefront searching right here. We can see right here, we got the Adapt 5.0. And I also noticed we've got these black ones right here. These are the ones that are going to be $42 for us. And when we plug that into Keep It down here, again, I'm just going to do the same exact color filtering where it's typing in the color name. So this one right here is black gray. We just want to make sure we're filtered down to that black gray right there. And then I really just want to see the most expensive sizes of this color, right? Because the cheap sizes, we're probably not going to make too much on something like this. So these are 90 bucks. So we would be making money at 90 bucks right there. So those would be very solid. 6.5s right there. So those might be the wides. I'm not sure if we can get our hands on those, but these are 73. So there could be some profit on those right there. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the wide options there. These, however, the 6.5s, if we're paying 42 bucks for them right now, the price on Amazon is 73. Super close on ROI, but let's see if we can get there with that discounted gift card. So we got 5% back from Raise. That gets us super, super close. And since we also get 9% cash back today, this would probably be another thing I'd probably go ahead and pull the trigger on here. It's a little bit risky since the previous price was so much lower. We're at break even. Our best case scenario here is that we sell at like 82. Our best case scenario, we make 21 bucks. Our worst case scenario, we end up losing $1. That's not a bad kind of bet to take, right? Your best case scenario is way better than the potential downside of losing $1 on this item. So again, we can go ahead and check data offers here, include historical. And yeah, I see lots of sellers making some pretty quick sales right there. See this seller making a couple sales. So it's not going to sell 1,000 times a month, but here's another item you could probably buy 10 to 20 units of at that current price. We're going to be making $13 a piece. Even if we only buy 10 pairs, we got another 130 bucks in our pocket right there. So now that we found a couple winning products, let's also go ahead and break down how to get approved to sell those products. So now that we know we can buy directly from the Adidas website, that's going to be a very trusted source for Amazon. Before you sell most name brand products on Amazon, they ask you to get approved to sell those brands. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and buy at least 10 units from the Adidas website. We'll get our invoice. It also helps if you attach the tracking information and then combine that all into one PDF. And I typically like to name that PDF something like Adidas invoice, something that makes it really easy for the Amazon reps to figure out what you're submitting. Over on Amazon Seller Central, you'll go to add a product and then it will say that you're restricted. If any of this doesn't make sense, I have a full ungating video on the channel for you. But after you submit that documentation that we got literally just sourcing profitable products right here, make sure that the information matches your seller account, submit that invoicing to Amazon, and then you should get approved within a day or two. If they deny your application, that's totally normal. Sometimes it can take a couple applications. So just keep resubmitting your proper documentation until they approve it. And then after you've found and ungated a name brand product that you want to sell on Amazon, we can also make our sales happen as soon as possible on this listing by leveraging something called merchant fulfillment. So what that is essentially, when we buy these products, the fees that I have right here are auto calculating about 60 cents per pound that it costs for us to ship into Amazon's warehouse. But we can skip the lag time of waiting for Amazon to check our items in, be available for sale, shuffle around to different fulfillment centers by listing our items as a merchant fulfilled offer. So what we can do, like down here on this buy box rotation chart, we can see that under type, I can see the last time an FBM seller made a sale was about 4 weeks ago. They've also only won about less than 1% of the buy box. And so before you list an item as a fulfilled by merchant offer, just make sure that the buy box actually rotates to FBM sellers. A lot of times the FBA sellers are going to have better customer service and faster shipping. So that can be prioritized by Amazon's algorithm. But if you're able to find listings where there's a lot of buy box 1 percentage being given to FBM sellers, that is a green light for you to list it as an FBM offer. And then as soon as the customer places the order, you will ship to the customer, which is a little bit more work on your end, but because it speeds up how fast you can test products, you'll know right away if an item is good or not versus having to wait the 2 to 3 weeks for an Amazon FBA shipment to check in. And you'll also move your money faster. Amazon FBM sellers tend to be able to move their money and grow their money about twice as fast as a trade-off for doing more work when it comes to fulfilling products. So now you have a full picture of how my Amazon product research team and I were able to source so many products to sell on our Amazon store. Please steal these strategies and go do it for yourself. If you want a full free checklist of everything that I look at before I pull the trigger and buy an item, I'll leave it down below. It's a free PDF for you to download. It should save you thousands of dollars in mistakes. But if you guys did get value from today's video, please feel free to subscribe down below. That helps me out with the channel for helping you out with your business. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, anything like that. I'm always happy to answer those down below as well. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you next time.